Hey gamers, I am centaurianmudpig. Welcome along to Ashes of the Singularity cast. We are in a multiplayer match with GGTheMachine against GoEJVA, and we're playing on the Urich map. We've got GoEJVA playing as the PHC, Post-Human Coalition, and GGTheMachine also playing PHC. So you're always not too sure what he plays. I think he generally plays mostly PHC, but I think I've known him to mix it up a bit and do Substrate as well. So, bit of an interesting strategy on this one. Not really. I thought that things were different. Standard strategy on this one. Going in there, getting down our factory. Yeah, not a very good place for capturing and also putting down metal deposits. These resource deposits slightly further away, that could not employ a different strategy. But yeah, same going on against GoEJVA. GoEJVA is a very good player, as is GGTheMachine. So this should be an interesting map and seeing who wins. And especially given that this map was changed in the last 6 months. And previously there was a wall between here and there, and therefore you couldn't really get into someone else's territory. You could only go down the 2 side paths. But this new area just opening a world of possibilities for both players. Bringing out our frigates as normal. Come on down, speed it up. I don't want to be sitting here for 36 minutes. Alright, okay, there we go. More engineers coming out, 3 engineers, capping those resources quick as we can. GoEJVA being slightly bit more faster, and GG just getting out his, should be 3rd engineer. Yeah, 3rd engineer, so just slightly slower on the engineers. And also working on more engineers. GoEJVA just spitting those engineers out. And here we go, a good old tactic from the machine, sending a scout. He wants to get good vision on what the enemy has, and we can just see exactly what he sees in there. So you can see our scout gives us nice vision and a bit of radar coverage highlighted by this blue radius, and anything that is picked up in radar highlighted in a heat map. And you can see just how much more vision it has than these other units. Oh, let's switch that back on there. So having a good scout, seeing what's there, seeing if there's anything he needs to worry about. Potentially you would have seen the Sky Factory and the Advanced Sky Factory going up, so the machine will be responding to that in kind. Whether he's just pumping out his own fighters or also getting Apollo anti-air cruisers, we shall soon see. Definitely. GoEJVA, there we go, spreading out, captured Trinium generator in the corner. The machine doing that in the exact opposite on the other side of the map, and pushing forward in a larger group of units, capturing those resources. Here we go, also sending a lone Zeus cruiser just to mop up all these frigates over here, and then just sending in a medic just to help restore and keep this unit fighting longer, potentially if the machine decides to send these frigates over here to capture this Trinium generator, as well as the Zeus cruiser will make good work of them. However, the machine must have spotted the fact that he had a Zeus cruiser and bringing in scouts. But here we go, we've got the equivalent to the Rampager, the Marauders. There we go, mopping things up, everything getting decimated there, both ground and in air. Marauders doing a good job cleaning up the rest, rerouting the very lonely medic there with nothing else to do, even if it's dead or alive, we're not sure. So at this point I expect players to be improving their economy, but no, we've got a very slow start to getting down a quantum relay. It seems that GoEJVA's tactic is to sacrifice that and focus more on getting lots of units out as quickly as possible and potentially overwhelming your opponent at the start. So perhaps he's invested his initial quanta into logistics value, and he certainly must have done. Yes, that is his tactic. We can actually see logistic values. Thanks for that, Tom Clancy. Oh no, he's not. Upgrade to logistics level 2, he says. No, he has upgraded it. It is. This is just not represented properly. And a little bug there or whatever. I should get rid of that tooltip altogether. Alright, so that is GoEJVA's tactic. That's what I noticed him do when I played against me. He will invest his initial starting 100 quanta into logistics, pump out lots of units in an attempt to overwhelm the enemy early on. And it is a good tactic that works for him quite often. Stick around here, anything going on in the sides, just sending some cruisers down there, some earth skirmishes going on, wiping out, that must be an earth scout, no they're actually fighters, and bringing reinforcements in. GG comes in and just look at those rockets fly, along with their little auto cannons as well. Very beautiful fireworks happening there. Check it down the other side. GoEJVA is moving on. GG just sending a lone Zeus on there. Would have cleared all these up, but unfortunately 3 Marauders are just going to be too much. But perhaps these fighters could come in there and clear out these Raiders. Not definitely going to be saving the Cruise, but could certainly make that more costly for GoEJVA than losing that single Zeus cruiser. So going on, checking down here, yeah, we're now getting upgraded. We're amplifying our resources. Amplifying gives us a nice boost to our read force. We got +2 radioactives, and do we get +2 here as well? Yes, we're both the same. But then we can optimize our amplifiers as well, using the power regulator, effectively doubling the income altogether on these nodes. GoEJVA now going for dreadnoughts. GoEJVA does have better income going on there. It's spending it very quite well there. I mean, what is going on here? Income 50, expense 60, and yet the metal storage, something's not quite accurate there. Metal storage is up, but his radioactives are tanked. GGTheMachine is, yeah, it's really good where he was there, not floating weight, not too much there, not wasting too many resources. You definitely don't want it up to the maximum capacity. Here we go, a little skirmish going on here. GoEJVA attacking. I don't think that was an incursion, but I could be wrong. It could have been an army that he sent down that we failed to miss, failed to notice, and of course the machine being able to push back down that right side, rerouting GoEJVA, retreating in here. Here we go, sniping defenses from a distance. Artemis cruisers are very good at doing that, you know, just snipe those defenses from a distance, nothing's going to touch them. Good long range if you can get them right on the borders. And that's why I can select it, because he's literally got it as its own unit, not got it in another army. In fact, none of these appear to be in an army. So I can seem to select them all, but not required at that point. But we do have this other army moving down and doing a flanking. That'll be interesting to see what might happen there, given this wide open nature. Perhaps these engineers can build some defences in here. GoEJVA has started bunkering down on this side. We've got some upgraded anti-air eliminator turret So that is basically the single target unit, very good for taking, say, down strategic bombers and marauders, but no splash damage. Where we also have the, do we have any? I forget what they're called. I know what it is. It's a stupid little cannon thing. There we go. Falcon anti, very good for splash damage. Very good for taking out fighters very quickly. So here we go. Is there? That's gonna hurt. Orbital drop down on there. Gaseous cloud just eating through the armor of the machine's army, set in the corner. Didn't notice, was able to push it out there. We do have orbital abilities in here, which we can also prevent using nullifiers such as these, and also an orbital action in itself, which has a beautiful large radius, blocking any orbital attacks in there. Very good for protecting units when you're aggressing enemy territory or where enemy potentially has vision, and no nullifiers of themselves. Here we go. Here's this army of GoEJVAs coming down there, just laying waste, wiping out there. That smarter turret, not going to do anything. But we've got these cruisers coming out here. Hero cruisers, very effective against these others here. While GoEJVA has numbers, unfortunately he's got way too many anti-frigate cruisers there. Only one Athena. This army isn't going to have any trouble wiping them out. Certainly his army is going to wipe out all those frigates, no problems. Oh, and we've got another orbital attack by GoEJVA as well. A bit too late by the machine. As you can see, this little radius here, that's an anti-orbital ability, preventing GoEJVA from dropping any more orbital abilities within that radius there of the outer edge. I think the smaller ones, just to make it obvious that something got dropped, and certainly does not indicate any minimum or maximum border to that extent. Look at all these lovely groups of engineers. GGTheMachine really taking advantage of the 2.65 patch, where multiple engineers can now build structures without any diminishing returns. And GoEJVA bringing out his Hyperion area dominance, very good for clearing out units and frigates and cruisers too. Very good when combined with, I believe, the self-repair ability. You do not want to allow these dreadnoughts to level up. We've got Athena cruisers. I don't think, to be honest, they'll be able to clear this up because just not got the firepower there. Very wise of the machine to pull his forces back. He would have just spotted that dreadnought on the edge of his vision, no doubt. Potentially see that. Yeah, potentially just on the edge of the vision there. So very wise maneuver pulling back, which really now could do with more of these cruisers. I forget what they're called, the Hera cruisers, and bringing them up there. And GoEJVA now settling down in both sides, getting ready to hunker down and get defenses in here. And GoEJVA just taking his time, no rush, only a quarter of Turinium took so far. Looking at bases, let's just see what they've done in here. We've got some good nullifiers in the area. I would say we probably want to upgrade them and go for 2. Another 3, literally double them, because a nice air rush, boom, 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 orbital strike, wipe out all those structures if you're not paying attention and could not get down a anti-orbital ability in time, and then we can just mop up the rest. And we'll just have a look at GG's base as well. And oh, this is a bit of a noob mistake on his part. No nullifiers whatsoever, but we are building refineries. Refinery is going to be boosting his income every 20% for the region that they're in, and we can have a look at the region. So all them boosting literally these resources here. I would have said though, however, I'm not too sure with how the numbers work with PHC, but certainly with the substrate and the harvesters, it's more effective to put it on a resource with, say, 3 metal deposits rather than the 4 on your starting base, if that's the case. I'll answer you in a moment after this moving target. And going on with this here, another battle coming in and just taking care of it. We've got strategic bombers in there. GoEJVA just wiping out whatever forces that we had in there. I'll try and answer it. Well, we've got a bit of a lull. Any tips for controlling there? How to select? The usual double click tactic doesn't work even when the control group is hard to manage if you want to add them. In that case, F3 key selects all units. If you want to select all units, F3 selects all units on your screen. I understand that, yeah, the double click feature is not very good on these fast moving units. You could almost certainly double click on a strategic bomber, but even then that is awkward. If you're playing single player, pause the game, double click it. But multiplayer, certainly F3 is your friend at that point, and ensuring that you potentially hotkey your groups of units rather than having them all together as well will help to keep them split and just move them all by selecting the individual hotkeys when you need to. GGTheMachine has wiped down all the defenses in this area where we're talking about and pushing on in here. What has GoEJVA done with his dreadnought? Potentially it's been wiped out as well by another dreadnought in the area, and the Prometheus is a dreadnought destroyer, so we reckon that is the case there. Though it hasn't gained too much XP, I would have expected more XP in here. But GoEJVA is not finished yet. He is pushing in. Can this Prometheus do anything against his Heras? Well, we have some Heras there as well. Very effective, wiping them away. It seems that we've got stuff going on here, exploding for unknown reasons. It's as though those medics are very effective. Yes, GoEJVA, the bombers are quite random at sometimes. Yes, I agree. Strategic bombers are very random. Don't always drop their payloads as you would expect them to do. In fact, it's a very extremely frustrating experience when I've tried them. And that was within the 265 patch as well, the recent patch. So strategic bombers do need some love. Substrate though, they've got all the love in the world. They're brilliant, those bombers. The equivalent ones. Red laser of death, boom, smash everything. But yeah, so GG pushing back in there. Look at this nice big fleet of medics ready to come and support here. Pulling them back though, very wise, because that drone bay would have just easily smashed all these guys to pieces. And we're now got another Prometheus coming up with another dreadnought destroyer. GG deciding to pull it back, probably a wise decision, just so we've got these medics down. Now, who put that orbital blocker down? I'd be interested to see. Is there anything going on over here? A few skirmishes going on with but GG is still pulling back on that dreadnought, just luring it a bit further away. These medics, just look at this now. Even though we had a starting that GoEJVA had the advantage, I think the amount of medics we've got here. There we go. Even comes down with the carving turret, very effective. So GGTheMachine took advantage to get that orbital, but it finally dropped. GoEJVA able to get down an orbital to wipe all his medics, but just didn't do anything in the end. And GoEJVA calls it quits, calls it good game. And GGTheMachine wins that match. That was a very good match there by both players, and looking certainly on there how GG had 50,000 to 3,000. I think it was very humble of GoEJVA to call the game at that point, especially when we're looking at military might there. And So lots of income coming on here. Both players, you know, reasonably the same on income. It was only there towards the end where the machine started pushing back, certainly getting more resources in there. And yeah, both players quite strong on their economy with all the refineries going down there. With our military might, though, the machine had an advantage throughout most of it. GoEJVA certainly must have employed a lot of good guerrilla tactics, I would say, going behind and sniping the machine. Quanta, GoEJVA investing more Quanta, and where is it? Global ability spending. So the machine spending more on global abilities there as well. So it's, I would say that the Quanta income, oh, it's actually not flat. So Quanta invested, yeah, so he's invested more in upgrades than orbitals. No doubt potentially armor upgrades, weapon upgrades. That's why, if those two dreadnoughts what we're fighting just then, I think GoEJVA would have won a one-on-one attack. Alright gamers, hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more coming, like, subscribe, etc. Thanks for watching. Until next time, this is centaurianmudpig saying bye for now.